Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Right On Radio. Today we have Kristian and Shawn from the band Loser Points. They are a punk band from the Edmonton scene, and they are here to tell us all about what their band has to offer and what they're about. So, yeah. Hey guys.
What
How's it
up?
going?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling.
Yeah, you're just chilling?
Yeah.
How's your guys' day going?
My day was long work-wise, but it's good to relax and talk about some music.
Yeah, just hang out and chill.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Cool. I guess I'll just get right into it. Tell me about Loser Points. Tell me about the band. Just the beginning, who's in the band, who plays what, kind of that.
Yeah, so Loser Points started when me and Ozone both moved to Alberta in 2015. I was living in Yellowknife, he was living in Dubai, and we were buddies from before. And then we happened to both move to Alberta for unrelated reasons. And he was like, "Oh, my brother-in-law is here." And I played in a band with him, like we should get together and jam. And I was like, no. And he was like, "Come on, man, like we should get together." I was like, "No, man, I got shit to do." And he was like, "Come on, man, let's do it." And I was like, "Fuck, fine." And then so that was the how it very much began. And then we got really drunk playing and woke and Josh, who was his brother-in-law, had a studio in his basement. And then so we got like really drunk and we woke up the next morning and we had an EP done already. And then so we put that out. That was a bunch of bangers, and that's still out. And that was the beginning of Loser Points 1.0. And then we did a split or another EP or something. We had 3 releases out before we even played a show.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then we started playing shows and whatever. And then we decided to move things into the denial and error era of the band, which is shifting from the hardcore stuff to the skate punk stuff. And then Josh was like, "I don't want to be in the band anymore." And we're just like, "Okay, guy, whatever."
Yeah.
And
Sure.
then yeah, and then we were not quite going Spinal Tap on guitar players by any means, but we couldn't get anyone to stick. So then we got my buddy Kurt from Vancouver to play, which was a great fit for the band musically, but obviously a logistical nightmare being a province over. But he was a trooper for sure. And then we ran that. So that denial and error games we played a hide was kind of Loser Points 2.0. And then we kind of went to a 4-piece for a minute. We got a bass player in, and I started playing guitar too. And that was kind of 2.1. And then we did, I think, 3 releases during COVID, which is the Rocky Horror cover album. Games we played a hide, I think, was technically COVID. And then did some acoustic stuff that was not well received. And and we did a single. So I guess 4 releases.
Oh
So
wow.
that was like Loser Points 2.5. And then before that, we played our last show March 1st, 2020. And we had all these like 6 shows booked for later that month. And then I mumbled the most wrong words I've ever said in my life, which was, quote, "I don't see any chance of these shows getting canceled."
Right.
And then just that happened. And then, yeah, so we kept busy on like the recording, releasing front of things. And then, uh, whatever the itch started happening, like Ozone was playing in a different band. He was the drummer in Loser Points. He was playing in a different band. We kind of told the other guys that it's like, thanks for the help, and we're gonna figure something else out with this band.
Right.
And so we're getting ready to pump it up. And then Ozone's like, "Oh, I'm moving to Charlottetown." And I was like, "Cool, man. Cool."
Yes, it seems like you guys got like you're pulling all these guys from different places like Dubai and Vancouver and
Yeah. And then so it left me here. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to let this stop me.
Yeah.
And so I answered a want ad for a Blink 182 cover band. And that's where I met Chris. And
Nice.
then so I was just like, so you're gonna come play in my band instead. And then
Pretty
It's
much.
not. It's not your choice. You're doing it whether you like it or not.
yeah, yeah, I tried to give the illusion of the freedom of choice,
Yeah.
but
Nice.
there wasn't any. And then we've ended up sourcing our latest bass player from Calgary, and his name is Josh. So he's the third Josh we've had in the band. So yeah, we need to get off of this Josh and Jason train at some point, but not today.
Not today. I was just gonna say you got your fourth Josh here. Josh here. I can leave if you want me to. It's
We just need to start giving identifiers for all these Joshes.
yeah. No kidding.
Shit, it was like, was that like the name of the year in 1988 or something?
Something like that. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's cool though. You guys are pulling all these different people from different places. It kind of, it kind of shapes your sound, and it's changing a lot probably. But you go through all these different guys, and you kind of hone in on like a certain sound you probably more so want. I would assume.
Yeah. So like whenever me and Kurt got together, things always skew more metal.
Yeah.
So we played in a band in like 2010 to 2014. And that was like a lot of guitar pyrotechnics, and it was getting like kind of metal by the end. And then when that kind of drifted off, I wrote these loser point songs that ended up being on Denial and Error, that were like insanely pop oriented compared to what we're doing. But then he gets into loser points, and then all of a sudden we're doing Warren and Jimmy, which is basically a Metallica cover song we wrote ourselves.
Oh, cool.
And yeah. And then Ozone, like he always like me and him really like the kind of John Feldman era of Blink 182. So like California and Nine. And I think the current guys in the band also like that era too. So then we'd be trying to do stuff more like that. And then, Ozone was like kind of good and bad for always indulging whatever whim I had. So it's like, oh, today we're gonna sound like Sum 41, and the next day, today we're gonna sound like Muse, and it's
Yeah.
a little all over the place. Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool bringing in different elements. So you guys kind of started as like a metal punk band, you're saying, and then they kind of went into like a pop punk.
just me and Kurt have played in a few bands together,
Uh,
and the one before that was kind of like, yeah, like a Willem Scream strung out like punk metal kind of thing.
that's cool.
And then when he got into loser points, then we kind of started drifting that way again. But now we're back down to a three piece. So we'll see what one man in his hands can do on guitar as far as making it shred.
Yeah, fair enough. That's cool. So it's you, Sean, you're on guitar,
Yep.
and Kristen, you're on drums,
Yeah.
and then there's another Josh on
Yeah,
bass.
on bass.
On bass.
Yeah.
Cool.
Granted, it's the first Josh we've had play bass, so that's exciting and new for people.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How is he kind of fitting in the band? Is the chemistry good?
Yeah, he's in Bring on the Storm from Calgary, so we played a bunch of shows with them, so we knew them really well. And I just put up like on my Instagram or something, just like looking for a bass player, and he's just like, "Oh, if I wasn't in Calgary, I would definitely be all over that." And I was like, kind of like, "Why don't you just be all over that,
Yeah.
and we'll figure it out?"
Why not just do it? Why not just be here instead of Calgary, right?
There's that too.
Yeah.
But I was talking to a guy from Toronto, and I think the things that annoy us in our cities are the same in every city. So like, who cares?
Yeah, for sure.
And that thing is construction.
Yeah. Um, what inspired you guys to start this band together? Like, what more specifically, why a punk band? And is there any specific moment that sparked an interest in creating the group or situation or anything you would say?
Just beer.
Beer.
So much beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys, they got me drunk and tricked me into being in the band.
Nice.
And then just kept drinking for most of it.
That's all you need. It's beer.
Yeah, I mean, there was never an option to not be a punk band. It's just a matter of what subgenre it is at any given moment. And Loser Points has certainly straddled some subgenres, going from hardcore to skate punk to straight up like borderline Black Bear style pop on one song to we'll see what subgenre it comes next. But hopefully, at some point, we don't look at them in isolation and we start looking at as a whole, and it all makes more sense when there's a lot of music out there. Hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Um, when did Losers Point start playing their first official gigs in the city? Like, how did you guys kind of break into the scene? And how is it now? Like, like a more established, or like, how did you establish yourselves?
Yeah, I don't know if we're really more established, having basically taken 5 years off. But I think our first show was what used to be called was in the Millwoods Cafe basement. I forget what that venue was called. But that was I think that was the first Loser Point show. That was the first one in Edmonton. I can't remember if there was one in Red Deer right before or right after. But we kind of like we beat up Central Alberta really good because a few of those guys had roots like around like the Red Deer area. So we kind of got a foothold down there a lot more easier, which is ironic because a lot of bands say that they just can't get any traction down there.
Right.
And we started doing Edmonton a bit more. And it was like Edmonton's always been okay for us. And then we do Calgary, and then that was okay. And then Saskatoon is always good no matter what band.
Yeah.
And then Vancouver's pretty good too. And then yeah, we've only played 3 provinces, but we managed to despite the big break and all the member changes and blah blah blah. Like definitely our tour history is over 100 shows. So it's
That's a,
not
that's a lot.
yeah.
Cool. So you played in other provinces. What would you say your favorite province was to play so far? Like what's been the best scene to kind of be involved with?
Yeah, they all got their pluses for sure. They all got different styles of bands. Edmonton's obviously easy because it's just the backyard. So
Yeah.
you sleep in your own bed at the end of it.
Yeah.
Red Deer's always showed up for us, even in our like stupidest eras.
Fair enough.
And that's probably the first place where we had fans that we weren't on a first name basis with before the show.
Right.
Vancouver is just fun to go to, and I always get in trouble because it's so much fun. And then yeah, Saskatoon is just an underrated city in general in Canada, I'd say.
Right.
And then like yeah, like small town Alberta shows are awesome and strong recommend to any band that lives around here too. It definitely explore that probably more than they think that they're doing.
Nice.
Because like Lethbridge is sick. Fort McMurray is like not a well kept secret anymore. Like it's sick there too.
Yeah.
Medicine Hat can have some bangers. Like basically anywhere in Alberta can have like we've had awesome shows in friggin' Whitecourt. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
You wouldn't think you would, but like yeah, that's good to hear that it was awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we haven't had too many stinkers. We've had a couple, but not too many.
Yeah, it's the Edmonton scene. I have found myself is that it's very big with like punk and ska and like death metal. So it probably just makes it a little easier, I guess, for you guys to kind of get involved with the scene and kind of connect with people. Eh?
Lots of death metal bands.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like anytime a venue falls, another one sprouts up.
yeah,
So it's like I was around like in like the Filthies and Wonder Bar and Bricks days. And
yeah.
like obviously none of those are around anymore. And then it just gets replaced by Dive Bar and Black Bar. And it's like even the DV8. I saw 2 DV8 shirts this week, if you believe that.
No, wow.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, something just always pops up. Scene's been robust since forever.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Kristen, how would you describe the sound of Loser Points, and what kind of influences that sound?
Well, when we played the Blink 182 cover band, we only like played once together in like this studio garage thing. I don't know what you'd call it, something like that. It was a garage, I think. And we were just vibing, playing all the Blink songs. And at the end, yeah, he looks at me. He's like, "Hey, you should join my band." And I'm like, "I'm so down. Send me what you got." And so later that night, he sent me like a Spotify playlist of like the main songs that I'm assuming were his favorites that he wanted to focus on. So I sat down and learned all of them, listened to them like maybe 200 times a day sometimes. It's pretty wild just to, be able to learn things like that. And you know what? When I heard all those, especially Denial and Error, when I heard that whole album, I was like, holy fuck, dude. I'm just surprised I haven't heard of it sooner. You know what I mean? Like it's so good.
Yeah,
And I love the punk sound in it.
nice. Yeah. I didn't know if it was possible to listen to something 200 times a day. I guess it would be if you're constantly listening to it.
Oh, it's probably 200 is probably an exaggeration, but it's like when I'm working, I drive for a living, so I have radio is very accessible to me. So whenever I had a chance, I'd always be listening to those songs to make sure I'm ready for when we practice together. And we've rehearsed quite a few times, and we're almost pretty much solid now, almost.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sounds like you guys really know like the shape of your sound and kind of how to like handle it and kind of explore it. So that's awesome. Seems like you
absolutely.
guys have good influences too. Aside from like just influencing the sound in itself, what would you guys say for both of you would be influences for yourself to play? And it doesn't necessarily have to be music, but just kind of like anything.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Doesn't matter. Either
You
or.
start off, Chris.
So if we're speaking from inspirations for like music in and of itself, like bands, I would definitely say Alkaline Trio lyrically is Matt Skiba is probably one of my favorite lyricists of all time. Like the way he forms like songs and words. I mean, I'm no lyricist, but I can definitely understand like the vibe he's going for or the stories he's trying to tell in the songs. A lot of it seems like very personal experiences, but a lot of it seems very, like Bad Dream kind of esque. And I think Alkaline Trio and Blink 182 and Sum 41, I guess, are the main top three
Yeah.
that are my biggest inspirations in music and making, my love for drumming. Travis Barker, Derek Grant, and I was originally Steve-O, but I guess Frank Zumo is also really good at the drums too. So all those people, really inspired me to hit hard and, set my drums up the same way as them or,
Yeah.
something like that.
Totally. I hear you on that. Yeah.
Frank Zumo's pretty good at drums can be the understatement of this whole talk right now.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
like,
don't sue me or anything, but I'm a drummer. I should know who that is. I don't know who that is.
he's the guy that was in Sum 41 at the end, and now he's on the summer circuit in Electric Callboy.
Okay, cool.
And
Nice.
Steve-O was the original Sum 41 drummer and left in like 2011,
Okay,
I want to say. Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with like the punk side and punk drummers and everything like that, but I'll have to check him out. That's really cool. You're saying it's an understatement of what how Christian was describing him. So I really want to see how he plays now. He's probably pretty amazing then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cool. Um, yeah, what about you, Sean? What would you say your influences are like for your own playing? Not necessarily the sound of it, but
Oh yeah, I mean, like my favorite guitar player is Dave Murray, so I don't know if that comes through, but he's definitely like my favorite guitar player.
Dave Murray of Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Oh, sick. That's awesome. I love that.
Oh yeah, when we were doing Denial and Error, I just like I was like I flicked my pickup to the neck position. I was like solo time.
Yeah, nice.
And
That's
that's that totally. I got that from Dave Murray like all day long.
yeah. He's a great
Like
he's a great guitar player.
oh, yeah. Anytime there's like a guitar harmony or anything, like the first time I ever heard that was Iron Maiden.
Nice.
I'm always writing my best songs when I'm listening to too much Iron Maiden.
Yeah, you take a lot of influence from Dave Murray, obviously, then in your playing and your writing.
Try to. Sometimes I forget to, but when I
That's
remind myself to, it turns out a lot better.
that's fair. That's fair.
That's for sure. I definitely do like more legato exercises on guitar than just about anything else right now.
Oh yeah, just some theory and like scales.
Oh, just legatos when you're not picking it, you're just using I guess if you're a normal guitar player, your left hand. I'm left-handed, so I'm backwards. But yeah, if you just like, well, if you're going like this,
Okay.
yeah, that's legato.
So it's kind of like a reverse kind of thingy in the way you play. I don't know.
Oh, I'm left-handed at guitar, so it's just whenever I'm talking about like right hand, left hand stuff, like normally you'd say like for rhythm stuff, like oh, a guy's right hand, and then sometimes I just say right hand so people know what I'm talking about, not
Um,
confuse it with being left hand like I'm currently doing. Just unfortunate, but yeah, other guys that I've been like Miles Dimitri Baker is sick. I've been get into a lot of his stuff. Dan Sugarman, Dave Nassie's like one of my all-time favorites. Although I don't listen to the band that he's in now because I don't think he plays on the records. But
okay. Lot of different kind of influences then like they can kind of mold into something really cool for both of you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, mine's almost all metal. Go figure.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm in the wrong kind of band. Just in punk because it's easier.
Man, why aren't you in Iron Maiden and go play with them?
Yeah, maybe in a couple of years you
Yeah.
get old enough for it.
Yeah, well they're gonna be too old to maybe even play soon. Maybe you can take Dave Murray's spot if they want to keep going, if he gets too
Yeah,
old.
right. I would never. I
I
would.
think someone took their drummer Nico McBrain. I think someone took his spot. I don't think he's touring with them anymore.
Yeah, he retired from the road.
Yeah, Nico McBrain, that last tour was his last one. Um,
So
uh,
unfortunate.
what's his name? Steve Simon, I think. Yeah, I think he was from British Lion, from Steve Harris's band,
Makes sense.
something like that. Yeah, he seems.
I always,
Yeah,
whoop,
go ahead.
sorry. I always, um, I always just adored Nico McBrain's kit as a kid, seeing like, the 14 different toms he's got going on. It's like, oh, dude, seeing like the art, like every tour, I think he'd get like different art on like the kit. I love the most recent, or what was it? It
Senjutsu.
wasn't,
Senjutsu?
uh, it was the one I think the tour before that.
Uh, the Book of Souls.
Yes, I love the kit for the Book of Souls tour. That drum kit was absolutely insane.
I remember that one sticking out for me too.
It's the gong for me.
It's
Yeah,
all the gong. Yeah, his kits are they're pretty fucking cool. Like each album cycle, he just has all the different artwork and all the shells and everything. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it must be nice being probably their biggest endorser and just getting a custom rig every time.
Yeah, right. Must be nice, you fuckers.
Oh
um,
yeah. Speaking of that, this is definitely did not get this guitar to be almost exactly like Dave Murray.
I was gonna say it looks like one of Dave Murray's guitars.
Yeah, it's just missing the Floyd Rose on it, which is completely not applicable to punk music. And I need to get a JB Jr. in here because this is before he had just 3 hot rails, but then he switched to a JB Jr. there. But they are sold out in Canada and being tariffed right now, so I can't get one.
Oh, perfect.
I work in a music store, so I know that for sure.
Oh, nice. You just work at like L&M?
Yeah, on white.
Oh, fuck, nice. That's sweet.
Yeah, so sick.
What are it's probably a pretty chill job then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just get to know a lot about stuff that you didn't think you'd know about as
Yeah.
far as just like, band instruments or synthesizers or whatever. And
Probably
you learn how to talk normalese about music too.
Yeah, and there's probably like a lot of musicians from the scene that work there too, I would assume.
Oh yeah.
Nice to connect and yeah, share your band stuff with them and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
every musician's dream job probably is Long McQuaid.
Yeah,
Well, I hope every musician's dream job is their band, but yeah, close second.
yeah,
Plus, yeah.
I would say so for sure. So you guys have, I see you were talking, you have more than 2 albums out, I think.
If you put it all together, yeah.
Yeah, because I saw
There's one long play. Well, I guess that Rocky Horror one kind of probably qualifies as a long play. And then what, 2 or 3 EPs, and then probably 2, 3, 4, 5 singles. I don't know.
nice. Oh, you're like, I don't know, I lost track.
That's something. They're up there. There's even some we took down too.
Yeah, cool. So,
Yeah, there's some legendary ones that can't find. Got to find some sketchy torrent site for them.
oh shit, they're so legendary. They're buried deep beneath the dark web, black web.
They're definitely buried. I don't know. Definitely, I know Ozone and Josh in the original band. Those dudes are a couple archivists, so guaranteed one or both of them have the lost tracks somewhere. But it got to the point where we put out Denial and Error, which was, like a certain level of quality and topic,
Yeah.
where we didn't want to go from a song, like anything on Denial and Error, to a song literally called Shit Breath about farting in someone's mouth.
Oh, very, very punk. I did not expect that, but that's hilarious. That's great.
Actual song title.
That's great. I love it.
Is that one of the dark web songs?
Let's not call them that, but yeah.
So have you probably played and recorded on all those albums and songs, Sean? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
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 What about you, Chris? Sorry, go ahead, Sean.
Oh, I was just say that I think there's only one that I didn't play guitar on, and then I played bass on everything and sang in some capacity on everything.
Nice. What did you play on any of them, Christian? Like record and play?
No, none yet.
Oh,
That's where I would say we're trying to put together some stuff soon. But yeah, as of right now, I'm not on any of the Loser Points' release stuff or unreleased stuff or anything. I'm not. Drums have not been tracked yet.
oh,
To
okay.
be perfectly honest, there hasn't been a drummer on a Loser Points recording in a long time.
Oh no.
No,
Fair
it's
enough.
not cost effective to record drums anymore.
That's fair. So
And if I didn't tell you there was no drummer on Endless Summer, would you have known that?
no,
Probably not.
no, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah. So we're getting results and getting deep discount prices for not recording drums. Sorry, Chris, but
Oh, that's,
2025, bro.
yeah, you got to do what you got to do. That's fair.
Yeah, it's like, do you want us to put out, like record drums and then spend all our money on that? Or would you rather that we don't record drums and we spend all that money on like fog machines and lasers and burning barrels on stage? Like, which ones do you think's cooler?
Yeah,
You know?
which one's cooler? Which one's more punk, right?
That's the answer's the same.
Yeah, the
Programmed drums never bothered me though. And in all honesty, never really like made me feel weird or anything, just because of the fact that at the end of the day, the songs are probably going to get played live, right? And so I'm probably going to have to learn them anyway,
yeah,
which obviously makes sense. So in a way, like I'm still learning the song, you know what I mean? And I'm still like having a great time playing it. Like me and Shawn, and we just recently played with the bassist Josh that we just got. We played a lot of songs off Denial and Error, and even though like I said, I'm not on it, it's great to play. It feels like, I don't know, like the connection we have. It almost feels like it was kind of like the whole thing was meant to happen. You know what I mean?
totally.
Like I love playing all those songs.
Yeah, you kind of feel like you weren't like there for the process, but you can kind of feel that you were involved in it somehow, just kind of how you connect with it, right?
Yeah, dude.
So I think it's what you're putting down. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys writing anything new, like all together right now?
Not altogether, because I like writing with other bands. I don't like writing with other people in my band, if that makes sense.
Okay, so it's kind of more like not necessarily like a collaborative thing, but it's more so just like an individualized
I feel like
process.
three guys in a band standing around with instruments trying to write a song is a massive misappropriation of time.
Yeah. Okay, so would you bring different ideas from different people and kind of collaborate on like a pool of things?
So back when Josh was in the band, Josh won. That was the only time there was a co-writer in Loser Points, and we both worked independently.
Oh, okay.
So just be like, I have 5 songs, and you'd be like, I will also have 5 songs next time we talk. And then
Okay.
all of a sudden we had albums really fast that way. And I mean, collaboration is A lot of times easier. Other times it depends who you're collaborating with, to be honest. But I also make a pretty penny as a producer and mixer, so I'm no stranger to writing on other guys' stuff. And when it goes well, it goes well.
Yeah.
But I've also been in bands where there's guys that, you know, they think that their creative well runs deep and they're playing in the kiddie pool. Like they got nothing to offer except slowing the process down too. So like it can go either way. It usually goes the first way, but like when it goes the second way, it's not even bothering.
Yeah, you don't want to waste your time with those kind of guys because like time is money, right?
It is.
it's
And
just
I
how
mean like
it is. Yeah.
I I do everything in this room that you can sort of see right now. So it's like, am I gonna like if I have an idea, am I gonna wait to run it past somebody like in its infant form? Like, no,
No, exactly.
we're never gonna make this happen.
Yeah. Um, what is your favorite recording that you guys have had so far? Like, what do you listen to the most? What do you like playing the most? What would you say for both of you guys?
Go, Chris.
So my favorite Loser Point song to like play, I'm gonna say like just drums overall. Definitely Warren and Jimmy's my favorite one to play. I told Shawn last practice that whenever I like sit on my drums to warm up, that's my warm up song. And it's great. It's fast. There's like so many changes and like the guitar solo, the super fast drums really, like adds that extra punch. My favorite one to listen to is between No Motion and Gaslights. And I think my favorite one, like overall, just by hearing the discography, is either Endless Summer or honestly Paper Cuts.
Nice,
Love it.
nice. Yeah, I see you posting your clips on Instagram all the time. I see you ripping up. There's
Absolutely.
probably a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. Nice.
I like Endless Summer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good. Dumb song doesn't mean anything. Just said I'm good. Was writing that, and I said to Ozone, just like, I'm finishing this song, and I don't care if I need to rhyme summer with bummer. I'm doing it, and it's that ended. Yeah, ended up being the hook. So,
Nice. Probably like a lot of, your Dave Murray playing in that. It's probably
oh yeah, yeah. At the beginning, got that little lick in for sure.
nice. Uh, just looking at my questions here. Are there any other stories that you guys can share, like about the band? While I have you on here for the last few minutes.
Yeah, it's the can share part, right?
Yeah.
There's lots that I can't. A lot of great ones that I can't. But I think, yeah, we're just the plan is to get tight plan with the new lineup, get that dialed in, get new songs ready to go, and make some news stories out there.
Hell yeah. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
What about you, Kristen? Any stories, experiences so far that you like to share about being in the band?
Oh, dude, I love every second of it. Like the moment we get in the studio, it's just like my happy place, man. I love being in a studio with real people and like, connecting over the same music. That's always been my dream. You know what I mean? That's always been like what I've always wanted to do. And I'm doing it with great people. Like Josh is a great guy. I've met him once and we've played once, but I can just tell he's a great guy. Obviously, I've played with Shawn quite a few times now. And like I said, back to the Blink 182 cover band, as we're going through this like wide variety of music, we had a lot of moments where we'd be looking at each other. And you know how like when you're playing with a band and you kind of like make eye contact and you kind of just you have that like you know
Yep.
what I mean? You're like
Mm.
in that certain section or you're coming out of a solo back into a chorus, you look at each other, you do some jump or like you end on like the same note. It's something like that it thrives my musical journey. And you know, I hope this, I hope this, it's just ongoing, man. I love it.
Yeah, it seems like you guys got a good trio going on, full of like it just you feed off of one another and it just pushes you. That's kind of what I'm hearing.
Absolutely.
Bringing back the power trio, baby.
Yeah, yeah, for yourselves, you do it for yourselves for like as a collective, right? That's great. I was gonna say something, then I completely forgot.
Happens to the best of us.
I bet it's gonna be something really good too.
Damn it! Now I can't think of it. Um, son of a bitch.
Was it a question?
It was a question. It was something that I didn't have on here that I was thinking of, but maybe
Ooh, that means it was an exclusive question too.
yeah. Oh, yes. What's kind of like the end goal for the band, you would say? Like what are you guys hoping for in the future?
Stadiums.
Stadiums? Yeah.
Say touring. Yeah, touring's probably the main. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Not even a tour, just Commonwealth.
Commonwealth,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Commonwealth every weekend.
Yeah,
Okay.
just play the football stadium.
Sell it out every weekend. That would be so sick,
Yep.
That'd be so sick. Just Metallica style.
right? Get get like the four towers going, get like the like posters and everything for the shows.
We have to have like the 15-minute long intro.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, right, man. The whole set's like 15 minutes.
Right?
That's how we made friends and influenced people early on because we'd have 30-minute time slots and we'd play for like 22 minutes and then just get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Left them wanting more and left the other bands more time, which they were happy about too.
I like that. Quick and easy.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. No
That's
monkey,
how my sex tape.
no monkeying around.
Yeah.
Who would you guys who would you like to open for if you played Commonwealth?
Ooh.
If you didn't headline.
That's the mighty assumption that we're not headlining.
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll list one that would go badly. Opening for Metallica would go badly. That would be awesome. Opening for Muse would probably be met with general indifference. And then Blink's not big enough for Commonwealth. Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else would play Commonwealth. Like Muse would, Metallica would.
Iron Maiden. I don't know.
No, they play Rogers.
Yeah, yeah,
But I mean, obviously Iron Maiden, like
yeah. Obviously.
yeah. Bruce Springsteen hasn't ever taken an opener, so that's not on there.
What about you, Kristen?
I'd love to open for Alkaline Trio. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There must be pretty. I've never heard of them, but they must be obviously pretty big.
Oh man, they're fantastic. Have you listened to much of Blink-182's catalog?
Yeah, kind of when I was younger, I would say more so.
So there was this time in like 2015 to about 2021 where Matt Skiba from Alkaline Trio was in Blink. And obviously Tom came back. And so he's back in Alkaline Trio focusing on that. But Alkaline Trio's new album, well, it's about a year old now, but Blood, Hair, and Eyeballs, it's a fantastic album. Love it.
I'll have to check it out.
They're actually not huge. They're probably like a step down from Bad Religion.
Cool. Well, sorry, I hate to cut you off, but we're down to our last minute here. I don't know when it's going to cut off.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's right.
yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming on. It was a good talk.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'd love to have you guys back if you're open to it and just kind of talk about more about the band and get more insight. I think
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Once we get some new music out.
yeah, totally. Fuck yeah, right on. Cool guys. So have a good Friday night and the rest of your
Thanks,
week.
Josh.
And yeah,
Thanks for having us.
yeah, take care.
You too.
Peace.